Okay, new business, 2019-2020 calendar. Dr. Zalis will update the board on the process for setting the 2019-2020 school calendar.
Well, we had our first meeting mid-November. Had a pretty good discussion. The committee that's comprised of school board members, teachers, administrators, students, 3 students, the representatives from the students, that includes Daniel, and you can certainly chime in anytime you want, almost anytime you want. The student council presidents, both junior high and high school, and we developed 2 drafts, A and B, been out on the website for some time, pushed that back out to the committee. The parents have had a chance to talk, and so we have a clear front runner right now in option B, which the only difference being starting August 14th with school and pushing the return second semester to the Tuesday, January 7th, 6th, 7th is the only other option, the only difference. Today I was at the high school with Dr. Pritchett talking to the principals advisory committee, so we went through 3 lunch shifts of kids that are there to talk about the school. We did talk about the calendar, and there were no movements away from calendar B during that discussion. I just kind of explained to them how we arrive at the calendar, what the parameters are statutorily, and what we have embedded in, the number of hours we go, et cetera, and what the impact of inclement weather days does. And I would add, someone asked, and so we were able to determine in the last, since the last 10 years, we've missed Martin Luther King. We've been able to take that off a little over half the number, 6 times. So someone said, well, we never get to take off Martin Luther King or President's Day because we always have snow. That's not true. So it's been about a 50-50 proposition with Martin Luther King Day, and then I think we've been in session 6 times for President's Day in the last 10 years. So we used 2 days last year in inclement weather, I believe, and our average is somewhere in that time. So there's 6 built in. So we plan to have a calendar hearing scheduled for the January 3rd board meeting, so that sending schools that were mentioned, they're part of our program from both HOSA and AG, that we have those sending schools are able to adjust their calendars. I get an email every day from the superintendent from one of those asking when our calendar is going to be approved. So happy to answer any questions. Mr. Froelich and Mrs. Haskell are on the committee. Daniel is too. So did I cover it? Okay. There's no conspiracy to give the kids and everybody what they want.
Well, I think some people on the committee were surprised that there are certain things that have to be done. You know, there have to be a number of snow days in the school year, and there have to be a certain number of hours in the school year, and those kinds of things. So when you kind of start working with all that, and you want to have finals before Christmas and have the kids out before Memorial Day, you know, there's not a lot of things you can really change about the school calendar.
There's been some statute changes for next year to give school districts more flexibility, because it's all now hours-based, but ours has been hour-based for another number of years. So we choose to make up snow days and choose to go above the state minimum, which is a conversion from what our past calendars have been to the current one. So we go about 1,136.5 hours, I believe, is the exact number, and the state minimum is 1,044. So we feel like more time with kids is better, and instead of reducing the time. So they don't even care if you're a 4-day a week. You don't have to declare you're a 4-day a week as part of the next calendar. They just care you get the number of hours. So that calendar is always adheres to the universities. Any community, what I was telling the students today, every community has the kind of calendar they want to have based upon their community. So if you live in Sedalia, you're going to get impacted by the state fair. If you're at Lake of the Ozarks, you're going to get businesses that want you to start as late as possible, and they do, so they can capture the tourism dollars. And if you're in St. James, the Grape Festival may impact your calendar. So every community has their own flexibility, and ours happens to be the university with spring break, which we've been able to protect in all the years that I've been here. So that's that.
All right. Very good.
Probably more than you wanted to know.